ID number is 110120, and today I discuss the presentation for intercultural relations. So let's start the presentation. So this is my table of contents, or headings, and then start the introduction. So in the real of the international higher education to the culture dance that occurs, culture dance occurs in the classroom between student bodies of different cultures, backgrounds, culture background, and in university global culture background they bring new ideas, individuals and behaviors such as environmental educating as a very powerful to the learning to experience. So this is my 5 key points in introduction. And then culture influence on perceptions. So student engagement and classrooms interactions are determined by the culture, of students' background. This ground as a dynamic for the student for good learners. And in addition, but the engagement also depend on the culture mismatch, which means that the norms of the educational systems. And then this topic is 2 slides, same also. And then barriers to international communication. Okay. Culture misunderstandings create the challenges to intercultural communication, like during the academic groups, and then these differences such as 2 content, first high content and then second low content. The high content is defined to the information to use the implicit communication, in the like non-verbal cases. And then the low content is defined to the face-to-face communication. And next is non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication is that how to aid the student to prepare the learning to experience. And the non-verbal communication likes body language, face expression, eye contact, and space value. And in Western culture, the non-verbal communications like assume honesty. And then the Middle East Asian culture, the eye contact could as regarded each subordinations levels with each other. Each subordination means ignoring. And then language as a barrier. The classroom have many languages. To academic achievement of the students, but also the social integration. And the non-native speaker also usually face difficulties and understandings. And then the non-native speaker also speak up in the committing mistakes. Next is the exploration of intercultural viewpoints. The organization are essential which the students to essential to of their students different backgrounds come together. The student presence of accept to the present of accept present to accept of their traditional like food and art. And then it is very important for culture exchange, and then they become more of the global jobs market. benefits. Change it. It's like explore. I explained the exploration is like same heading in these parts. Conclusion. The like example, the diversity of the students, such as like more bring backgrounds to their community, more creativity and theirs to of any students. Like any issue, like language barrier confuse in communication. And in addition, but the education and educators to the communication like responsibility and faces to face faces to diversity of the globalized world. Reference, and then thank you.
Anyone is having any questions from the audience? It's the time for you to ask.
How does culture influence non-verbal communication?
Like the culture influence non-verbal communication is that how to produce students experience to learning. And I explained the non-verbal communication like eye contact, body language, and face expression. But the non-verbal communication, Western culture like eye movement is very assume honesty. And then the Middle East Asian culture, the eye contact is very good as regarded to each subordination like levels with each other.
Are you happy with your answer?
Yes.
Yes. Just if you have further questions to be explored, you are having time to ask. Right, just from my end, Valpreet, just you were talking about the challenges of the cultural mishap, right? Just that's basically the mismatches are there. Just basically you were talking about some mismatches. Just now, I need further explanation of these mismatches. Just how do you explain with an example?
Mismatch means norms of the educational systems. And the student engagement also depend on the interactions are students to good learners who is like very high content.
Just in general, if you are taking just the cultural mismatches, just can you give me an example? Just here you were mostly talking about the classroom environment, right? Just some examples you have taken for just more specifically to a classroom environment. Okay, just that's okay to go, but just in general, just how do you give me an example? Just any sort of just mismatches, I'm asking the challenges for the cultural mismatch. What are the mismatches and how the challenges will be facing?
please read the question.
Yes, my question is just that there within your presentation, you have explained some challenges for the cultural mismatch. Just I need further explanation. How just what do you explain? Just what are these challenges? How these mismatches are happening with an example.
Misunderstandings may arise due to different.
So this is nothing but just I'm taking from the content you have presented. Have you prepared these slides by yourself?
Yeah.
Then this you should know, just what's the content that you have presented, just with the having the idea, you should be able to deliver it, right? Just I'm just taking some content from your, just the presentation, just it's nothing outside, just to basically to verify your understanding, to making sure that you have the correct understanding to deliver it. Okay, then I'll move to another question. Just in terms of the barriers to the cultural communication, intercultural communication, just we are identifying a couple of different theories. Just can you remember any of those theories? You have mentioned some of them. Just can you remember one of those theories?
Culture.
The intercultural communication.
एडिट कर देगा वो.
So, the intercultural communication based on two content. First, high content and second, the low content.
No, I'm talking about the
Communication
theories. Just
barrier,
you have mentioned
misunderstanding.
different set of theories here. Just tell me one of the theories. Just what theory would you like to talk about? Otherwise, I can recommend a particular theory. I prefer that you can just talk any chosen theory of your choice.
Culture dimension theory. Culture influence.
What dimensions theory? Culture dimensions.
Culture influence.
Social isolation.
Just there's a dimensions theory. What is the correct name for the dimensions? Who has introduced? What's the name for this theory?
Hofstede theory.
Hofstede's theory. Okay, good. Just if you're talking about the Hofstede's theory, what are the dimensions? What are the different dimensions of Hofstede's theory?
Individual.
Individuals. There are two aspects to go, right? What are those dimensions? Yes, individuals versus what?
Collective.
Collectivism, okay. What else? No? Can't remember? Okay, thank you, Dr.